Good evening. I'm Reed. I have some peppers here. I have a couple of Chocolate Bhutlah. These are the ones that were created by Stephen McLaren, and Ed Curry at Puckerbutt Pepper Company is now selling these, and so I got my hands on some. I ate the biggest one and gave the second biggest one to my friend already. But Mr. McLaren's challenge, from what I've heard, was to eat two of them and sit with it for 5 minutes without any attempts at relief. I don't know if you can see this, but it says Chocolate Bhutlah SM, which stands for Mr. McLaren. I've always liked hot stuff, and I got kind of inspired to level up watching Ed Curry, Stephen McLaren, Ted Barris, and the LA Beast eating this stuff. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to check that out. And so I've eaten some hot things. Looks like there's some ridiculously hot things coming out. I was eating some Get Bitten Mamba 6 the other night. I should have videotaped it because it was pretty brutal. But I'm going to eat these peppers and dedicate it to the aforementioned chili head gentleman. And see if I can maintain my composure here. Whew. Let's see here. So I study and practice and teach mindfulness, which is a present-centered awareness, kind of a willingness to experience reality just as it is, and to gently observe that, to just notice without reacting. No assumptions, no jumping to conclusions, no spin, interpretation, that kind of thing. No judgment, no exaggeration, no catastrophizing, just experiencing. And it can be helpful with pain, chronic pain, emotional pain, difficult, painful thoughts. It's kind of a cool way to function. When we observe reality, the way we make sense of reality is with words, primarily. And so when we're being mindful, we want to describe reality to ourselves, our external reality, what's happening around us, and also our internal reality, gently and very factually, just the facts. Kind of like Joe Friday from Dragnet. Just the facts, man. Why did he want that? Well, he wanted a clear picture of reality. So when we describe reality very factually, we have clarity. And that also makes reality easier to accept. Acceptance really comes with a sense that everything happens for reasons. And I don't say a reason. You know, some people who are really good at acceptance aren't particularly religious. So everything happens for reasons, variables coming together in time. We can't escape cause and effect. But if everything happens for reasons, then everything is as it should be. So we want to be open to experiencing reality. When you experience a crisis or severe pain, you know, you can fix it. Sometimes you can't. Change the way you feel about it. So, you know, good luck with that. That can be difficult. It is possible. You can accept it, or you can stay miserable. Lots of times we choose to stay miserable. And I think staying miserable serves a function. It serves a purpose. But experiencing pain and discomfort coming from a place of acceptance, mindful experiencing, gentleness, I think can make a difference in terms of how we experience discomfort. And so I'm attempting to use mindfulness and acceptance during this exercise. I'm not, I'm going to go ahead and wipe my nose here. I'm not really doing this for any particular attention or anything like that. It's sort of a challenge for me. And I like hot stuff. And honestly, the endorphin rush you get from experiencing this type of pain leaves you with a sense of well-being, etc. Partially, eating some of this hot stuff will give you chilly cramps. Those cramps can be very, very uncomfortable. I've had some really bad stomach pains, and that is not conducive to a sense of well-being. But the worst ones that I've had lasted 30 minutes. I do eat a couple of different types of things before I eat peppers that can be helpful in sort of binding to and absorbing the capsaicin in my stomach. So I did that tonight, and we'll see if it works. I didn't set my timer, so I'll set it now for 5 minutes. To date, this is the hottest and most uncomfortable thing that I've done in terms of eating hot stuff. I think, I think I'm not really talking about myself necessarily, but the guys I mentioned, also the Chili Beast and oh geez, what's the guy's name and his kid? They eat some ridiculously hot stuff. I think they're pretty hardcore. It takes, I think it takes a little bit of mental stamina to tolerate this type of discomfort. And so, like I said, it's sort of a challenge for me. Some people make fun of me. You're crazy. I'm like, well, yeah, probably, but I don't think it's crazy to eat hot stuff if you like it and enjoy it and it's challenging to you. I don't know if you can see, my eyes have been watering down my face. But I'm just noticing that. I sort of drew the line at having a bunch of snot running into my stash here. That kind of bugs me a little bit. Hey, give a shout out to the Masons and the Scottish Rite Freemasons. I did my 32nd degree in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and did my third degree. You ever hear of getting a third degree? Well, you get it in the Masons. That's where that expression comes from. I got my third degree in the Blue Lodge as a Master Mason at Lansing Lodge 33, which was established, I think, in 1849. So it's a pretty venerable organization. A lot of people talk about Masonic conspiracies, that kind of thing. If there's a conspiracy to take over the world or kick in a new world order or anything, nobody's filled me in on it. Maybe that's in the invite-only 33rd degree. You got people like Harry Truman and Arnold Palmer and presidents, that kind of thing. I had a friend who has passed away not that long ago, whose 32nd degree certificate was signed by Harry S. Truman in Leavenworth, Kansas. He carried that around with him every day. I think I would have too. Shout out to my fellow Zen students, if any of you guys happen to see this. I miss you all. I look forward to seeing you in Tucson. One of the ways, I was always interested in hippie trippy meditation type stuff. And it's not hippie trippy. It's well accepted in the scientific and medical communities in a lot of different ways. But I got turned on to mindfulness specifically by Thich Nhat Hanh, and then really in a lot of detail and in practice when I was trained as a DBT therapist. I'm a mental health therapist and have been for about 20 years. I've been specializing in dialectical behavior therapy for over a decade, 12 years I think. And it's a mindfulness-based therapy. And it's very helpful to people who have very difficult to treat disorders. The mindfulness component makes a huge difference for a lot of people. And mindfulness in DBT comes from Zen, not Zen Buddhism. Now, it's very difficult to mention Zen without mentioning Buddhism in some way, but there is a difference. You can be a Zen whatever you want to be. Be a Zen Hindu, Zen atheist, Zen Christian. You can be a Zen Muslim. And at our Sangha sittings, where a lot of other people will come, we have people from many different faiths, and also non-faiths, which I don't mean that in any judgmental way. To each his own, to each her own. So my timer's going off. Pride goeth before the fall. But I don't know if it's pride, but maybe a little bit of satisfaction that I'm experiencing that I can eat 2 Chocolate Bhutlah SMs and not be drooling, not be puking, not be scrabbling around looking for relief, not drinking milk, etc. And I am feeling this in my stomach a little bit, but it is not hurting nearly as badly as it has before. And so I'm pleased with that. I don't want to keep people staring at this the whole time. I hope something, anything that I might have said has been of some type of interest. And if you take anything away from this besides, man, This stuff looks like it's hot because this guy's got tears running down his face and his nose is snotting. If you take anything away from it, maybe pay attention to the idea of mindfulness. Look it up. If you're experiencing chronic pain or mental health difficulties and severe anxiety, etc., there are many ways to experience a lot of relief and to experience reality differently. And I'm not against medication or anything like that, but why not do more? Medication for issues never takes you all the way over the rainbow, and so you never want to put all your eggs in one basket. Primarily in any kind of endeavor. But that's enough of the lecture from me. I wouldn't be surprised if people saying, well, who the hell are you? But like I said, my name's Reed, and I just ate 2 of the hottest peppers in the world, and I didn't lose my shit. I'll take care. Good night.